Hey, legends, we will be getting into our podcast very shortly, but first, a message for our mates at Game Day Squad.
Do you love women's fantasy footy?
Now, Women's Aussie Rules Fantasy has officially launched at Game Day Squad.
It's free to play, create, coach, and compete for weekly prizes.
Open your free player packs weekly.
It's fun, it's free, it's easy.
Register at gamedaysquad.com.au.
All right, let's get into this.
TT's all right with me. TT's all right. Oh, yeah. I'm Roy, Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wanderers.
And Calvin.
Coach Calvinator.
Woo.
Yeah, well.
Bow, bow.
This is the first of our little club reviews that we're doing from season 2023. And we're going to start down the bottom of the ladder.
Oh.
The Harley Reid Cup team. We're starting with the West Coast Eagles. And
we're here.
She's tough going in reverse order, isn't it?
always
it is.
tough.
This is where we may not find as much special names.
It's all right.
Anyway.
We'll still go through it.
We'll get into it. So basically, we're going to look in these podcasts at how 2023 went.
Yeah.
It may have been good for some teams. It may not have been so good for
it'll be
others.
a quick review process for someone like the Eagles, but there's a little bit
There's a little bit.
looking into the future.
Well, that's the thing. It's the future that is bright for the Eagles.
100%.
Because this year, Roy, they didn't really have anybody.
Well, they didn't have anyone average over 100. However,
good
they still
start.
had 3 players average more than 90. So
Let's
start with
done.
the big dog.
Yeah,
Who
the big
was?
dog. Yeah.
Who was the big dog for them?
Tim Kelly.
It has to be Tim Kelly.
Yep. Played every game.
Yeah.
22 games.
He looked
Oh,
good.
no.
He
23 games. Got
So
to
one
remember
shot.
that.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bit of a shift in thinking there, but he was good this year.
Yes.
Like, you take that.
Oh, yeah.
It was his best as an Eagle, surely.
Yeah. So a decent season, but
Yeah, it's nothing.
yeah, I think there were points of the season where you thought, oh yeah, that could
You
be
could.
one, but there was
Could launch.
just the up and downs that might have been for
Any picks on
Timothy Kelly.
at the start of the year that were worth getting on because they actually did something?
Well, I guess we can think draft as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Liam Duggan was probably
He was
a decent
serviceable,
option
very
there. So
solid.
he played
Yep.
22.
Yeah.
What did he miss? Did he miss with a suspension or was it an injury?
Oh, I remember that
Good
game
research.
that he did miss. Yeah, but he was his name was really relevant at that
and,
point. I remember
he
that.
just finished round 24 with 113. Last
Yep.
3 average of 107.
Yeah.
So
Take that.
he has been solid.
Yes.
Averaging 96 puts
Solid.
him in the that mix. Well, he did better than what he was priced at.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
he's had a good year.
Jaden Hunt?
Now, he was a great pick.
He was a great pick.
That
for
was.
people that started with him.
Yeah, or even jumped on
Oh,
him
jumped
when
on
he
him.
hit that because he went through that nice little patch of those
He
games,
did.
I'd say. But
Averaged over 80 in the first half of the year.
He did.
Bit of cash gen.
Well, that's it.
He was a good pick.
And we were sort of jumping around blokes like that.
Yes, and he was the one.
We'll get to a couple of
The
them in a
funny
minute.
thing with him was he started the season with a shocker, didn't he?
Yes.
Which actually people probably jumped off.
Yep.
And then it was after that he was humming.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Dom Sheed. Don't know if he makes this other category that we might talk about.
Look,
but
I'm a Sheed lover, right?
we started. Who started? We all
We all started,
with him, and it was a fail.
It was a
It
It was a
fail.
fail pick to start
He
with.
turned into a robot.
That's right.
Right?
So, yeah, that
And
did help. So he played 15 games in the end, right, which isn't enough for
Yep.
that pick to be successful. But his numbers were probably there.
So we went
We would have taken
79,
that 90.
72, 72 at the start of the
Yes.
season. So that's where it was, that fail pick, before he missed with Robot Boys
Yes. Yep.
for those next few weeks. So he missed 4 games. But then he came back. It was massive. He got that 111, 81. And then that game down here, actually,
Yes.
when I saw him the day before,
Yeah.
remember?
You
He
got
was,
him going.
He, was
Yep.
he said he wouldn't have been able to play that day because they fly 2 days early, West Coast. And he wouldn't have been able to play the day after they flew.
Oh, wow.
So,
Anyway, he had that game down
Yeah.
here, and that was 139. But then he went a 64, but then he went a 138. So
Yeah.
that 90 average is actually really padded by those scores in there.
It is, but if we had have had him for 15 games
Yep.
where he averaged 90
exactly.
and went up over 150k,
If he got us to the
you
bye
would have been
averaging
happy
90,
with that.
we
Yeah,
would have been pretty happy.
would have been great. So the
What
idea
he
was
priced
there.
at 80? Oh, no, he's less than that.
That was in the 70s.
Yeah, it was cheap.
It was a fail for us, but gosh, if he played that 15 straight
Yep.
with that average, that would have been a good pick.
So I would have been a chance to do better.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, you weren't as far off as it feels.
There you go.
All right, now we've got some segments for these,
Okay.
and we've got some categories, and this one you might not guess really quickly who could fit this one.
I'm telling you, we are never, ever
Right.
So,
getting back.
Again.
Okay.
again, ever.
Again.
And never again, Liz.
Until
People-
that price
We're
plummets
never,
again.
ever again getting back together with Elliot Yeo. We're not.
No.
You can't do it. No. He wrecked our season before they started, remember?
This
He
happens
changed everything.
with really special relationships, though. Sometimes you get that one text message come through or something and it just rekindles. Can you ever? No. This one we have to put a dead set line
Yes.
through because even though we have justifiably done it multiple times in the past,
Yep.
this time and this year, and it's not getting any better with his injuries and things like that. I don't care how cheap he
So
gets.
he's going to be priced at 70 next year because he played the 10 games. So
70?
priced at 70. And he had games where they were obviously, that was pretty good, but he did come back into the team. So if we rewind back to the start of the season,
Yeah.
we were all in on him for
We
round
were.
one. Then he was injured prior to round one. Which
What a surprise.
Actually screwed us over a fair
It
bit.
Oh,
did.
didn't it?
We were
caused a shuffle.
very, we blamed him
Yes.
for our poor starting teams because we had to change it because of Elliot
Well,
Yeo
it was
not
we had
having him.
spent months structuring it around having such a cheap option back there, and it caused a complete reshuffle. So that's the effect Yeo can have on you.
Yes.
Even
40
if you've mucked around having him in your team in the preseason.
Came in round 4 and played 2 games, 48 and 44, and yeah. But then when he came back in round 11, 84, 94, 95, and 98. And that's where we thought
Well,
we can. And some people did.
I did.
I
You
did. I
Yep.
did.
Yeah,
You guys
because
went
that's
back.
the player he is.
Yes.
If his body was a little more reliable, that's what he is. That's why he's so tempting all the time.
All right.
He is a 90-plus guy.
He is. I've got another guy who's a 90-plus guy that is on this list as well.
Okay.
He's averaged over 110 twice.
Oh,
We are speaking of Andrew, get the vest off his back, Gaff.
Well, that's definitely a never again. He may not
Hey.
even have a contract for next year. I don't know.
Will be priced at 72, Roy.
look, he has never.
cheap, all right.
That one's not hard for me. He's never been in my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not a never
You're
again
the
guy.
sicko.
I am. I didn't do it this year, although as tempting as it was. Can I tell you this,
Did you
though?
watch him last round?
In his last,
My goodness.
in his last 6 games, he went at 84. That puts him 13 points under.
Oh, stop it. It's content, right?
I'm joking. No, he's on that list though.
He's well and truly on that
no matter
list.
what. Even if the powers to be come out and go, you know what, we're giving this guy 50% discount.
No.
Just because we know that everyone
Special
loves
thing.
him,
Yeah.
it's still a no.
Nah, it's a no.
You cannot do
No,
it.
cannot
Yeah.
do it.
I think there's just West Coast. Not real good. What are we thinking about for the future, though? Have we got any players at me? Any that might break out? Or there could be those
100%.
good buys, because we are looking at players that might be discounted, that might just go to that next level. I think it's more about the next level for these guys, because I don't know if there's any discounts, because any discounted players or cheap players based on a not so good 2023, Gaff,
Yes.
we're not touching.
Agreed. Now, the guy I've got my eye on, I wanted to start with him this year.
Yes.
But decided not to because he was missing the first few with an injury. And I'm talking Jai Cully.
Oh, yes.
So he played 5 games.
Yeah.
One of them is a 2. He had
Yeah.
a 2 in that. He averaged 41 for the year. He averaged 68 last year. So
Yeah.
he'll get a discount off that. He is a chance. And remember in the preseason, I saw a lot of interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, who's ripping it up? It's Cully. It's Cully.
They
it's
were all
Cully.
over him.
They loved him. So hopefully he's back and fit and firing. And he's a guy we can keep an eye on.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
And they've also got that young talent like Hewitt, Jinby. Remember, I mean, he served us all very well.
Very
with his
well.
high tackle game. So he had that nice little roll through the middle there where he was sometimes tagging, but he found plenty of his ball and tackled.
He should keep defender status.
Yep.
And I think he'll probably still get that little nice roll as such
Yes.
there with that, where he can have some points. Because what do you have? He had some nice scores.
He started with a 92, 71, 82.
He was on fire.
Yeah, a couple of 90s there for the season. Fell away a little bit at the end, got injured.
Yep.
Is it a hammy? Is that what?
Not sure.
I can't
But
remember.
he's the
Put on
sort of
ice.
player that you might want for your game day squad team.
Yes,
without a doubt you
going
would.
forward, because you might be able to pick him up cheap if you go to the transfer market, or
Yep.
if he comes up in one of your packs, you definitely want to keep
Well-
that, because I think he'll have the defender status
Yes.
and he should be okay.
And he's got
perfect.
scoring ability. We've
does.
seen it.
Another guy I wouldn't mind picking up, Dog, because he's not a household name, but I think he's going to be great, and that is Hoffy.
Don't
Yeah,
hassle.
yeah.
Yes.
Don't hassle. So the thing I like most about him, and especially with some some defenders retiring
Yep.
for the Eagles, and traditionally they play a high mark
They do.
game back there, and I've seen him do it a couple of times this year where he's taken double figure marks back there.
So, bit of recency bias.
Yeah.
You can get a bit excited with the 105 the ad for round
Yeah,
24.
well, look how many marks he took in
Yeah,
that one.
so that was a
and then go
12 mark
back
game.
5 or 6 weeks, I think he had a 14.
14 mark game for 111.
Exactly. So if you're seeing what I'm seeing a guy they don't mind kicking it to.
I'm with you.
There's going to be marks back there, and he's going to be doing it for 10 years.
So that's 61.5 average. Yes, good for our game day squad, but for next year,
Yeah.
is at 61.5. Even draft, you're thinking about that as one
Yeah.
of those little sleepers later
Big time.
on, because he's improving on that.
He's improving on it. There's an improved role for him. He ticks a lot of boxes.
Some of these rookies as well, like they used a few.
Yeah.
That's probably an issue for us.
Yes, it has bumped
because
the price,
they
yeah.
may not necessarily be there. If you are playing women's fantasy, a player, and this is for game day squad, that you might want to grab, I like the look of Ella Roberts, a 19-year-old forward, could be the breakout sort of player there. That one averaged about 58 last season.
Okay.
That probably goes up and looks pretty good in those.
Well, he would know, wouldn't he?
You would know. I'll
He
just
would know.
take your
He-
word, Dog.
And the expert.
AFLW expert.
AFLW.
Face off.
Right. Any other stuff for these guys, or it's probably a bit of a light on start for us with
It's always a tough start down the bottom, Roy.
that never again list. That's probably the key one coming out of here.
You've got to learn from
No,
that.
Elliot Yeo.
And we need to be firm on it.
We gotta
no
learn.
No matter what it looks like, how good it looks, how tempting it is.
It'll be content
Do
though, and
not.
I think that Cal,
No.
you are a massive chance.
I'm a
of
chance.
having.
I'm a chance to go back to Yo.
Yes.
That's as far as I'll say.
So
That-
cheap.
I do think that
Bargain.
Gaffy's still a chance for you. He'll
No, unless I go full on sicko mode. No.
hope so. 'cause I
Yoey
need to
only.
Get in front of you this year. All right. There it is.
There it is. West
Thanks
Coast
for
Eagles.
tuning in to this one, you bunch of legends. Hit up dreamteamtalk.com for more stuff. Also, patreon.com/DJTalk for all the legends that are there.
There you go.
All right. See ya.
Attention footy fans. Have you ever played fantasy football? Fantasy footy is taking the world by storm, and here's your chance to play for free. Create, coach, compete in fantasy footy for free with Game Day Squad. Open free new player packs each week. Sign up to coach, build your team, trade players, bench injured or unfit players, upgrade rookies. It's your fantasy team. Play your best team. Become the ultimate fantasy footy coach. It's fun, it's free, it's easy. Register now for free at gamedaysquad.com.au.